So we drew our layout, we generated our bill of materials, and now we want to go ahead and print a proposal. Click on Go to Proposal. So we now get to our quotation or proposal window. First thing I want to mention is that anything you see on a gray background is not going to be on the final printout. Those would be all the configuration options. The first thing we have in the header is the ability to select or deselect anything that we do not want to include on the printout. So if I don't want to include the project data, I can uncheck the project data box and the header, project header disappears. The next section is our bill of materials. We have shown this with a buy multiplier and a sell multiplier. In some cases, the buying multiplier will be predefined by the manufacturer and will show up with the correct number. For this example, we will assume a buying multiplier of 0.35, and as you can see with the selling multiplier of 1, that gives us a markup of 185% or a profit margin of 65%. Now we can go ahead and change this. Let's go ahead and set the markup to 95%, and that automatically changes the selling multiplier and the profit margin. We can now go ahead and change the profit margin, set that to 55%, and it changes the selling multiplier and the markup accordingly. So we have our net cost. We can include a price increase if we want to. We have our profit, and then we have a field where we can put in estimated freight. This can either be done as a dollar amount or as a percentage of list. Now in this case, I'm just going to use a 5% of list. Now let's go ahead and take a look at all the components here. You can see that the sections are in here, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that's not the case. And you can see that we have our total in net cost, estimated freight, and grand total. We can choose to show the line pricing or hide them. We can remove the freight and just show a grand total. And there are various other options. We can show list price and multiplier if we choose to do that. We can also hide all the components and in this case only show the total, estimated freight, and grand total. The next section is the drawing view. As you can see, we have the isometric view that we generated before hitting the process button. We can also go ahead and show the dimensions on this drawing as well as the components. And we can independently adjust the font size on the printout and still keep whatever font options we had on the screen. On this drawing, you can also zoom in and zoom out by either rolling the mouse button, or you can use the zoom in, zoom out buttons up here, and you can also pan the drawing, which can be very helpful if you need to break the drawing up into several different drawings for clarity. We can add as many drawing views as we like, either by adding three-dimensional drawing views, which I'll show momentarily. We can also add another schematic view and then change this view to a plan view. Same thing, we have all the components on the drawing. We can zoom in, zoom out, adjust the components, the font size, and let's just go ahead and generate one more view, and we'll do this as a front view. Finally, let's go ahead and add a couple of 3D drawing views in here as well. This gives us a 3D rendering of the layout, and a lot of the same functions apply where you can zoom in, zoom out, rotate it. We can go ahead and add this one just as an isometric view, and then add another one and turn that into a plan view. And then all the way at the bottom of the screen we'll find a section legend. That basically shows us all the diameters, the exact length with all the details. And finally here towards the bottom of the screen we have a print, return to layout, return to project file, and return to project list. Let's go ahead and hit the print button. As shown here in the print preview, all the gray boxes are now gone, and all we have left is our drawings and any of the information that we selected to have on the printout.